parents reported whenever they start to work with the child legs, the child start to develop certain epileptic seizures, and parents are worried about what to do about that, and in one month they understand they need to work on the child leg, but on the other hand, they also understand that it's not good if the child is experiencing all these seizures because of that, epileptic seizures. So what can I say about this? It's a tricky question, and I would really have to know more about the child condition. So, because it depends in what condition is really the child. If the child have a lot of problems with breathing, for example, constipation, problem maybe with the hips, problem with the head control, there is a question, why do you think it's so beneficial to work with the child legs? So maybe it is better to leave legs alone a little bit and focus on these structures which are actually extremely important for the child development. So when these structures become better and stronger, you will start noticing that the child is starting to use the legs in different way, simply by itself. And when you start to see that the legs become the child's spontaneous activity, something that the child is doing, and it becomes part of some function, then it makes sense to work on the legs. If the child legs are not really part of any function, if they are just there, if the child is not using them to push anything, if the child is not using the legs to create inertia to roll around, or for example walk and things like that, if you mess around too much with the legs, you are going to create a lot of, sensorical information from the areas which the child doesn't even have properly in his own body map. So suddenly you're exposing something to him which he is not familiar with, and that is too much for his brain. So we need to understand why the child have a problem with the legs. And in most of the cases, it's not directly related with the legs. It could be related with other structures. So when you strengthen the child, fundamental problems, you realize the child with improvement of energy and improvement of general condition, you'll realize the child will start to use the legs as a part of some function. Then the legs become very important for the child's spontaneous activities, and they become part, the child slowly start to get familiar with the legs, and he create better body map of his legs. Then when you work with his legs, the brain can handle that, and you probably will have less a risk of getting the seizure in that case.